I really have a place in my heart for Muhammad Ali. He spoke a lot of wisdom. You know,
Yeah,
if you really go and he stood up in a time where it was very difficult and spoke his truth, and his truth was very deeply spiritual. He's a very deeply
for
spiritual
sure.
man. People throw that around, but he really was. And I think it matured in him over the years, of course, too, as hopefully it does in people. But you know, what part of what I appreciate in this, and that really to me indicates his sincerity and the depth of his um, of his spirituality, is that he says, if you've got 1 ounce of pride, you can't enter
Mhm.
the hereafter. Now, a lot of times that people coming from the Abrahamic faiths,
Yeah,
they equate the goal is to get to the hereafter, right? The goal is to get to heaven. The goal is salvation. Now, oftentimes the East, and I don't want to
what
over,
does that mean, salvation?
salvation means freedom from sin and like almost like what we call moksha. Attaining heaven. You know, the idea is that our sin is keeping us bound and damning us to a future of misery. Salvation means freedom from that fate, right?
Mm.
And release, you could say. And so, the common kind of simplistic, I'm not limiting the Abrahamic religions to this, but a lot of the times the way that it's presented is it's boiled down to a very simplistic formula that you live your life. Doesn't really matter how you live it.
Right,
If you have sufficient faith, if you really believe, then you
right.
get salvation. And if you don't, it doesn't matter how well you've lived your life, you're condemned to hell. Now, the Eastern traditions, they tend to look at it a different way. Um, they say they kind of go to the root of why you're bound in this world.
Mm.
They don't just say, just try to get salvation. They say, do the inner work, right? The inner purification, free yourself of all of this lower nature that's within you. And salvation comes as a natural result of that. But it's not that you just try to get the salvation without transforming yourself, without freeing yourself of all the lower nature. And so he's kind of summing up that lower nature by saying pride, right? And what is that pride? I don't need you. I'm independent. I'm powerful.
Sure.
I'm beautiful. I'm the greatest.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm. This is Wisdom of the Sages, a Bhakti Yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York City, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. Today it's Monday. Today's Monday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, April 28th. Is it April 28th? Yes, it is April 28th. This is episode 2026.
Nope. That's year
Should we just
2026.
have
Year
Trying to
2020.
do this part of the show?
Try this right again. Today is Tuesday, April 28th. This is episode 1762. Welcome to the show. Good morning, beautiful people. You know, it's where you skip on a Monday. You forget.
It feels
that
like Monday on Tuesday.
feels like Monday and Tuesday.
Today feels like a Monday.
Does feel like a Monday. We had a great weekend, Kaustubha. It was
Yeah,
great
you
hanging
had
out
an
with you.
exciting weekend.
If you don't know, me and Kaustubha had a slumber party. It was great. He invited me into his room. That was very nice of you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I needed a place to sleep. A little spoony woony.
There was none of that was happening.
Little spoony, little finger holding, little pillow fighting. That's okay. We can tell the people. It was like he's. Oh, we had a nice. It was after the program we did at the Bhakti Center. I had no place to stay.
You had many places.
But there was a big disappointment this weekend.
What was disappointment?
I thought Pranapriya was staying over too.
We didn't think you
She went
could
to go
fit us
be
all.
with her sister.
Yeah.
Well, I kicked out Tarun stayed with the Chandra and
I s-
Ramananda.
yeah.
Your family just spread across New
We
York
just
that night.
spread across New York. I wanted some one-on-one time with my boy. It was
Not
nice.
Tarun.
Okay.
Not Tarun, you my boy. I just think it's
And then we
nice
did
when
some
you
real
really just-
manly stuff, right?
No, it's
The
good.
next
Yeah, I
day.
heard you guys had a saw,
Circular
radius,
saw out and
circular
everything.
Yeah, we busted out a radial saw. We did manly things.
Made a mess.
Made a big sawdusty mess.
Yeah.
That was great.
It was nice having you over, Raghu. Anytime. Anytime.
Thank you.
You too, Pranapriya. Anytime.
Prabhu.
I mean,
Yeah.
not anytime, but
And we had a really nice program at the Bhakti Center. I'm going to do more of those soul talks. I met so many others there.
so many
There's
nice
so
people,
many
really
others
dedicated people that were like, yeah, we listen. I was like, well, really?
Yeah,
Some
like,
really
yeah, we
great
listen to Wisdom Sages. People I never think would listen to Wisdom Sages. Respectable, good people. But much better than me. I was like, you listen to me? I just want to say I'm sorry.
And you know, it's
Man.
amazing. Sometimes you find that they're already like advanced devotees. They're already like, got a serious practice, pilgrimage going on.
Yeah.
They got all kind of sadhu sangha going on. They know people. They're studying. It's like,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. Thank you for all the others. We call them, if you're new to the show, we call the we see about 50 to 100 people on Zoom every morning. But then once we upload the podcast, we call those the others because you don't really know they're out there. You think like only 50 people listen, 100 people listen, but there's so many
Thousands
people.
are
Once it's
there.
uploaded, there's
Thousands.
thousands of people that listen, and you never meet them until you just run into one. Like, oh, I
At a
listen to
soul
you every
talk.
day. And they know everything about my life. That's the weird thing. They know everything about my life. And I
How's
know
Gus doing?
nothing about them. It's like I'm inviting stalkers into my life. They're always like, how's your son? I heard he was sick. I was like, what are you talking about? Who are you? Heard you going through a rough time. How's Pranapriya?
And so anyway, you came over, you did the soul talk, you stayed at my place, you took off the next morning. How was your concert the following
You know
night?
what? I will say, and this brings us back. My mom's just going through it right now. I
Yeah.
really spent time all day
You
with
spoke
my
a lot
mom on
about that in the soul
Saturday.
talk.
My mom on Saturday, and then my mom on Sunday, and she's just going through a hard time, with her mental faculties.
It's just, you have the lens of Vedanta to understand it through, that okay, she's unharmed. It's just that the body that she's working through, the mind that she's working through it's put in its 100 years and it's just wearing out. And before long, that same untouched soul will move into a new form and not that that's easy, but that does help you process it. And yeah.
It does help me frame it out for sure.
Otherwise,
because,
it's just a dark abyss that's just,
like, why? And is this even my mother anymore? She
Yeah.
doesn't remember who the kids are. She doesn't remember where she grew up. She thinks she's living in a different house. And so those mental faculties are sort of breaking down. And it's easy to sort of get like angry. Like, I don't even know this person. She doesn't even know me properly. She keeps confusing me with my imaginary brother, she thinks. And so, yeah, well, in the same way you can break an arm or lose a tooth, the mind can break too. And it's just another way of
Yeah. Respecting the
it's
material energy, right?
Yeah, it just breaks down. It doesn't mean the spirit is not there. And that really helped me when my father was in a coma for 3 years.
And you're just
before
learning about that.
before he died, when I was just learning about, no, he's not dead. He's alive. Dead means the soul leaves the body. He's waiting there in a type of sort of like a purgatory within the body. We're all in a purgatory within the body, and we're here to learn lessons.
There's a
That's how
takeaway
I
right
look
there.
at it.
Look at Pranapriya. She's like, oh, note that one down.
Yeah.
You like that? We're in purgatory. We're in a purgatory in the body, and it's sort of like, if, for example, if you're in a prison, you have an opportunity to do certain things within that prison to get released early, or you can implicate yourself more in criminal activity in the prison. And if you're not learning lessons, if I'm not learning how to love again, I'm
You're
not getting out of
implicated.
prison early. There's no parole. That means another birth again. And so anyway, in my mom in this situation, we look at pictures. I show her videos of Krishna. Of like, I play kirtan for her. I have a little spray bottle of Ganges water.
She's getting
And I
squirted every day by the
give her a
lady
little
that's staying.
squirt. Give her a little squirt of love. I
Now,
told
Yoga
you what I
Mai
s-
Shakti shared the news that Mother Sudamani passed away over the weekend.
That was another hard one.
You
Mother
you
Sudamani
probably knew her
was.
well because you lived in Philadelphia. I knew her, but not very well.
We lived with her for 3 years, and her husband really sort of like were the mother and the father of the temples, and they had they were these. There are two people met Prabhupada, 100% dedicated.
Gave their life.
One of the few people Prabhupada said, "You finish school," so he became
Her husband, Ravinder Swarup.
got his PhD. And he just ran the temple and lived a super simple life. He just gave his whole life to Prabhupada. And now, like in their 80s, they retired to Mayapur. And, she was the stronger one. I thought she was stronger than him physically and mentally because they're aging also.
Mm-hmm.
And she just left her body. We got to see them in Mayapur. I'm really happy I got to do that. But they were a big
passed
part
away
of
in
my life.
Mayapur in the holy Dham.
Yeah.
Great
So anyway,
souls. It's Raghunath. It's actually getting so. Right now, I feel it. We're hitting a point where all of the Prabhupada disciples are at that age,
yeah.
right? So it's almost every day you're hearing about someone else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
Anyway, good
it's,
morning.
in one sense, it's both sad and happy, when Vaishnavas leave
Yeah,
this
that's for
world.
sure.
So we're seeing these people that are well prepared for their transition,
No, I used that example the other day. Like every time you pick up your beads, every time you offer obeisances, every time you go to a temple, every time you read a book, every time you offer your food, every time we're doing anything, go to a kirtan, this is all practice.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way an Olympic swimmer. It's
Mm-hmm.
like they don't just swim the Olympics.
It's
They've
all
been
the time.
practicing since childhood.
Yeah.
They've been swimming before school and they swim after school. They swim in the summer, they swim in the winter. They're swimming 24/7 for
When the
that
test
day where they
comes.
go to the Olympics, huh?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's what a sadhana bhakti is. Sadhana bhakti means on a regular basis, I'm going to add some Krishna to my life. I'm going to add some spirit to my life. I'm going to add some devotion to my life. And it's not only waiting for I'm not doing this just to go to heaven. I'm doing this because it feels better in my day-to-day. In the same way an athlete feels strong, feels connected, feels sort of like a step ahead of everyone. Like a real professional athlete. They feel stronger and they feel on their A game. They feel at the top class. In the same way, we are feeling spiritual on a day-to-day basis because we're adding spirit to our life. It's better for us mentally, physically, emotionally, when we go through disaster, when we go through good times. But really, it's also training for that day. And so we have to remember that these people, in one sense, they've been training to leave their body for this transition of spirit to the next body, or in most cases to the spiritual realm. It's like an Olympic day. And in that sense, it's exciting. On my side, I feel the pain. I feel the loss. I'm missing these people from our life. But it is actually a glorious thing because their life has been dedicated to spirit. And it's quite impressive.
It is. Now, you didn't tell us about the quickly. Tell us about the
Quickly. You know what? So through all this, first of all, through that really wonderful satsang in the Bhakti Center with like 75 people. And which a lot of people here were at. And through being with my mom, I was emotionally a little broken, and I really didn't want to do this We had a band performance of Youth of Today, and it was with all these old bands, literally like that we all met when we were like 1986. It's like 40 years old, almost like a band reunion, and it was sold out with 1,500 people there. And I did not want to do it. And I just sort of like went there and I had the best time ever. It was like, I never had like deep friendships in high school that many. This was like a family high school reunion.
High school reunion.
And it was so good because, when you're young, you always have some people, you got some ego issue with. Everybody's old. and
Everybody
there's
dropped
no
all their
ego
egos.
issues. And what was once a sort of scary scene where at any moment you could get a bottle broken over your head,
Yeah.
it's like a family event. It's like a family affair, a family picnic almost. Everybody's nice. Everyone's got their teenage kids. There's no egos involved. You're just going up to people you haven't seen in years and embracing them and appreciating them and appreciating their contribution. I had such a good time at that Youth of Today show.
Good.
Yeah. And I will say, there's a lot of Krishna consciousness that goes way outside the ISKCON even like scope. There's like no clue. The Hare Krishna movement has no clue how much Krishna consciousness goes on at those hardcore shows. It is unbelievable how many people came up to me that are very, very Krishna conscious, that listen to the podcast, that, that it's just unbelievable.
Oh, that's great.
All right. No, I'm not interested in that. That's an interesting thing.
What's that?
That's very interesting, isn't it?
Who's not interested?
I'm just saying you sort of dismiss it. Okay, let's get going. I was like, no.
I'm the one that asked you to talk about it, Bubba.
I know, but I'm just saying there was Krishna consciousness there that's off the ISKCON radar.
Yeah, I said it great.
I know, but you were sort of great dismissively.
No, not at all, Raghunath. You see, you added meaning to it.
I'm adding meaning because I'm speaking a language that we've both been speaking our entire life.
No, the
and
language
witnessed
is
each other's
fine. It was the
facial
meaning.
expressions, and those facial expressions all have meaning. And your little face may have meaning when you would.
You misinterpreted them.
I'm not misinterpreting it.
I can tell you what's going on inside my head. You can't.
Shall we move on to our announcements?
Yeah, if you want to dismiss
What
it too.
happened?
We
We're doing so great there.
Let's all dismiss it.
What
Let's all dismiss it.
What happened? Okay. Franfria. we switched gears there so quick.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back.
Yeah, we call it grinding gears. That's what we call it. Grind the gears.
All right. We still have one double room remaining for our retreat in Italy, July 4th for 11th, and also one spot for a male person.
One spot for a mailman.
Okay.
No, male meaning a man. Not,
It could be.
One spot
Male.
for a male.
Most men are males, but
Just a male.
And then also Raghu's got some programs coming up this weekend in Seattle.
Seattle.
you're going to
Yeah.
Seattle. That's
Going to
crazy.
Seattle this weekend. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I think I'm speaking at Google.
That's
What do you think of that,
Look at you.
Kaustubha?
Harvard, Google.
I told my mom too. But now that her mental
mean
faculties
anything.
are not working, she's not even impressed. If I told her like 8 months ago, she'd be like, "You're speaking at Google." Now I was like, "I'm speaking at Google." She's like, "Googly, googly,"
No, she said, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, but she doesn't even know what it is now.
But she said that, "Oh, that's great," to sort of
Yeah,
everything.
she says,
Still,
"Oh,
made
great."
her
I
happy.
said, if I said, I'm eating whatever, vegan meatballs tonight, she'd be like, "Oh, that's great."
But she means it. She was enthusiastic.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, that is wonderful.
all right, so
Looking
people
forward to it.
can find your Seattle events where on
at-
Instagram on your website.
On Instagram, on my website, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Raghunath.yoga.
Raghunath.yoga. Also about that Italy thing, we got a room left. That means if you are a couple, this is your chance. And if you've got if you're into bhakti a little bit, this is it. Especially if you have a partner that's not that into it. It's a fun way to take your partner to Italy and just like experience Italy. You get the
This
benefit
place
of
is beautiful.
This place is beautiful. It's like we don't even have this type of beauty in America. And it's nice. And we do all touristy things, but in a Krishna conscious way. Isn't it true?
Yeah.
It's like Krishna conscious tourism.
All right.
All right, should we move on to our nugget?
Krishna
don't
Bhakti
freak
really
out.
changed since you and I were kids, hasn't it?
What's
There
changed?
was none of this. Let's go to Tuscany. There was none of that when me and Kaustubha were little.
Well, there was a Swami that had a boat in Hawaii. There were a couple things like that, right?
Yeah. Even that was, you know what I mean? I've been on those Swami boats.
Okay.
It's sort of like still like you're in like boot camp,
Okay.
right?
I don't know. I never been on a Swami boat before.
Raj Swami had a boat. When I was Giri Raj Swami boat once.
Really?
It's nice. It's just, but it's like, it's like pure devotional service. And if you're new to it, it's just like, oh, we can't even talk. No,
do
you're just
anything on this
chanting the
boat?
entire time, boss. We can't even
Raghunath wanted to crank up the.
yeah, you can't like bust out a bag of potato chips. No, there is no outside food welcome here.
Okay. All right, we got a nugget, Raghunath, and it's coming from a very important person.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, what a character.
Mm.
Interesting, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
What?
You know, he was on the top of his game for a big part of his life. On the top of
Yeah.
his game.
He's on
And-
top of the game.
And he was a very spiritual person.
Very spiritual person. He had very connected to Bhakti Tirtha Swami.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Was
Did
he
you know that?
connected to
Wow.
Malcolm X too?
Not to Malcolm X, but to Elijah Muhammad, who was like the
guru of Malcolm X.
practically the god of, the Jesus, the whatever of Malcolm X, at least for some time.
Yeah. Interesting. You know, he was famous for his quote, "I am the greatest."
Well, this speaks right to that, actually.
All right.
All right. What's the nugget?
He says, if you've got 1 ounce of pride, you can't enter the hereafter. So I got to be careful because it's easy for me to be proud being who I am.
Sure.
Yeah, this is quoted from the Tao of Muhammad Ali by Davis Miller.
Interesting. You know, it's one of those things. A lot of people don't work towards some type of perfection in their life. Like there's like sometimes you meet like virtuosos in music, virtuosos at like Olympic sports. Like they're gold medalists because they've been focused on one thing their entire life, or on chess, or on, computer science, or things like that. They're like just at the top of their game, A-list people. And so once you're at the top of anything like that, there is no one in your category. And then from your category, you become number one. Mm-hmm. And so it's easy not to get caught up in pride. I mean, we get proud of things we're not even that good at. But imagine if you're at the top of that game, like no one could defeat him.
Yeah, these
Even
are
the
Krishna's
Beatles, right?
opulences, right? Like strength.
Strength,
And
beauty.
he was also a very handsome man. He was very intelligent, very articulate, very sharp, very humorous. He had
Right.
like all of these vibhutis, right? All of these opulences.
Yes.
Right.
And then there's people like the Beatles who at one time I think John Lennon said, "Yeah, we're bigger than Jesus."
That got
Did
him
they
in
say
trouble. He's he said something.
that? So it's one of these things that you can, and I can say with the puny type of fame I have, just
Still.
from doing music.
Yeah.
What's that?
But still, right? You had. I was going to say. I was assuming that's the direction that you're going in. That's still what it has to be.
Yeah, it's even with a
very conscious.
puny type of fame, you could just start thinking, yeah, well, I am great.
I am the
I
greatest.
am wonderful. I am appreciated.
Let me ask you a question. You just did a concert the other night, right? So
Yeah.
you step out on that stage and everyone starts to cheer, right?
Everyone starts to cheer. They're very excited. They know all the lyrics to every song. They're singing. They flew in from, guy flew in from Indonesia. Guy flew in from,
Just
South.
to see you.
Yeah. So it's one of these things. Our ego is always telling us, our false ego is always telling us, you're the best. You're number one. You're the center. You're the dude, right?
Mhm.
That's what our ego
You're
is
the
telling
greatest.
us. And when we come to bhakti, it says, actually, you're tiny.
Tiny.
It's not about you. It's about God as the center. You're a tiny satellite of God. Don't forget that. Don't cut God out of the picture. He's your source. He maintains you. He feeds you. He loves you. He's got a plan for you. But what we tend to do is cut God out of the picture and say, no, it's me.
That's the problem.
I'm the center. And then if you do have some charisma, charm, wealth, beauty, strength, humor, whatever it is, you use that to endorse the illusion. No. I am the center. And we see that when people get caught up in that, we think, well, I met that guy. He's, sort of famous, but he's just full of himself. We say that. He's full of himself. And we have that word, he's living in his ego. I saw a Lamborghini, or someone sent me a picture of a Lamborghini that said, on the license plate, my ego. Like, this is just me showing off my money, myself. This is me. I'm my wealth. I am my vehicle. I'm doing this because I think it makes me look cooler. So that ego is keeping us in illusion that we are the center. And when we finally get that insight of bhakti, it's like, no. You might have stuff, but that stuff was loaned to you. In the same way I give you a car on loan. I'm Hertz Rent a Car, and you can rent this, Dodge Charger, but it's not you. It's not you. You're just like the driver of this vehicle. You have it for a few days. You get to drive it around, but you understand this is a fleet car. This is a company car. It's not yours at all. And when we understand, like, these are all not just loaned to us, they're gifted to us. God gifts us this karma, or this opulence. And to resurrect our intelligence, we have to offer it back to God. We see this again and again. This is the story told to us through Vedic teachings. Hanuman has all these incredible gifts, right? And he uses those gifts to serve Ram.
Okay.
And because of that, Hanuman's beloved. Everybody loves Hanuman. You take these gifts and you offer them back to God. And we see that towards the end of his life, maybe not the end of his life. I'm not sure about Muhammad Ali's whole life, but you can see he was recognized, and these are God's gifts. It's not just all about me. It's hard because people are telling me I'm the greatest. Women are throwing themselves at me. I'm the number one fighter. People can't beat me. I'm even quite impressing myself. Sometimes people who are great, they impress themselves. But these are gifts on loan to us. And when we start to recognize that, it puts the ego in check and aligns the ego with the real ego, which is, I'm tiny. I'm part of something bigger. These are all gifts, and I'm here to give back and spread the glories of God. And then you have people like Muhammad Ali who are reminding you of Hanuman when they get to this point.
Mm-hmm. Hmm? Yeah, I really have a place in my heart for Muhammad Ali. He spoke a lot of wisdom. If you really go, and he stood up in a time where it was very difficult, and spoke his truth, and his truth was very deeply spiritual. He's a very deeply spiritual man. People throw that around, but he really was, and I think it matured in him over the years, of course, too, as hopefully it does in people. But what part of what I appreciate in this, and that really to me indicates his sincerity and the depth of his spirituality, is that he says, if you've got 1 ounce of pride, you can't enter the hereafter. Now, a lot of times that people coming from the Abrahamic faiths, they equate the goal is to get to the hereafter, right? The goal is to get to heaven. The goal is salvation. Now, oftentimes the East, and I don't want to over.
What does that mean, salvation?
Salvation means freedom from sin, and like almost like what we call moksha. Attaining heaven. The idea is that our sin is keeping us bound and damning us to a future of misery. Salvation means freedom from that fate, right? And release, you could say. And so, the common kind of simplistic, I'm not limiting the Abrahamic religions to this, but a lot of the times the way that it's presented is it's boiled down to a very simplistic formula that you live your life. Doesn't really matter how you live it.
Right.
If you have sufficient faith, if you really believe, then you get salvation. And if you don't, it doesn't matter how well you've lived your life, you're condemned to hell. Now, the Eastern traditions, they tend to look at it a different way. They say, they kind of go to the root of why you're bound in this world. They don't just say, just try to get salvation. They say, do the inner work, right? The inner purification. Free yourself of all of this lower nature that's within you. And salvation comes as a natural result of that. But it's not that you just try to get the salvation without transforming yourself, without freeing yourself of all the lower nature. And so he's kind of summing up that lower nature by saying pride. right? And what is that pride? I don't need you. I'm independent. I'm powerful.
Sure.
I'm beautiful. I'm the greatest, right? And humility means, what can I do in this world? I can't even lift my hand. You look at Muhammad Ali in his later life, and he
Right.
began to lose all his facilities, but he
Yeah.
understood it. He
Yeah.
understood it. And so this idea that saying, he's not just saying you have to believe in my religion, become a Muslim and you'll get salvation. He's saying, no, we need to free ourselves of pride. Let's find the root of our problem, right?
Amazing that he's saying that, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he came off sort of as the proudest guy around in his
And
youth.
and we could analyze like why he spoke that way and everything. I think there's many reasons for it. But underneath it all, there was that deeply humble person that just came out more and more, as his life, matured. So anyway, we're reading now about Indra,
Sure.
a person like Muhammad Ali in that sense, but
In
even
so
more
many ways.
powerful and more
Probably
handsome.
the first time historically in the Bhakti tradition, Hanuman and Indra were compared to Muhammad Ali.
Well, there you go. But he's got the problem of pride. What is it? Of course, in the Gita, there's that Bhogaishvarya Prasaktanam Taya Prahitachedasam, that we become bewildered by our material opulences, right?
Boga and Aishvarya,
Bhoga and Aishvarya,
right?
right?
And the desire to enjoy the world, like let's get out there and right. The desire to enjoy the material world and the opulence of this world. Like, look
Yes.
at that. Look what she has. Look what he
Or
has.
look at my opulence.
Look at my opulence.
Yeah.
For those who are
For that person, samadha navatiyate, they can't attain samadhi. They can never have the peaceful mind to connect, with their origin, with their source, with the absolute truth, which is the origin of everything, right?
Let me see if I got that one. Let me see.
And so that's, huh? What you got?
To those, let me see if I remember that one. To those who are attached to to those who are attached to material sense enjoyment. Wait, to those who are attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence.
I don't think sense enjoyment, right?
No, Bogai Aishwarya.
Bhogaishvarya prasaktanam.
To those who are attracted to material enjoyment and are bewildered by such things.
Yes, that's
The
something.
resolute determination for devotional service will never take place.
That's the samadhi, right? Samadha navatiyate.
Resolute determination for devotional service.
Yeah.
Samadho. Yeah, so you don't get,
Yavasiyatmaka buddhi. They don't get that focused intellect, right?
Yeah.
That focused reasoning, that clear filter to
yeah.
perceive truth through the illusion, right? And so I like it that he frames it this way: if you have 1 ounce of pride, you can't attain salvation. You can't attain it. It has to do with your internal life. Your internal life has to harmonize with the hereafter.
Sure.
And there is no. It only does when there's no pride, because pride is the realm of illusion. And by here, what we mean by pride too, that we should be clear. I think of it like like this. Like sometimes you see like a little kid, like a little toddler or something like that, right? And they're doing something and the parents help. And let's say they get like a little wiffle ball bat or something like that. They have those big, thick ones, like it'd be like a big club. And then, someone just softly tosses a little plastic wiffle ball at them. And the child swings, but like the father is like right there kind of holding the bat for them and helping them swing. And so the parent hits the ball hard. The kid's hands are on the bat, but they're really not doing any work, But the kid is like, look how far I hit it, And we all kind of laugh at that. We understand that the kid couldn't do it without it's actually the parent that did it. But the kid is thinking, that was me that did that. That's pride, right?
Yeah.
That I did this independently. And that is actually our situation in this realm. Our ability to do anything is granted, and it can be taken away at any moment. The wise person sees that, lets go of any pride associated with anything that they do. This is when you see someone that's got this, that has a deep spiritual faith, that has potency, they have power, they have Shakti, they can move things in this world, and they're saying, I'm doing nothing. Yeah, I'm just trying to do my little part and trying to cooperate here, and then God makes these things happen. They're actually seeing the truth, right? No pride in it, no pride at all. So that's, Muhammad Ali was realizing that even he had accomplished so much, I haven't accomplished anything. It's God allows this to happen. And it's that state of mind that allows me to enter the hereafter, right? Beyond time, beyond the gunas, and so on.
Mm.
So Indra, he's in a super highest level material position, but his pride is barring him from the hereafter. And Krishna's saying, let me help. Right? Let me help. And so he set up the circumstances by which his pride was taken down. Now we get to hear where we pick up today is Indra just offered he had his humbling moment, and he spoke with genuine realization, asking for forgiveness for the way that he had responded.
It's
And now,
beautiful because this whole thing helps us reframe
our own life,
our own crumbling, right? We crumble in this world very often, especially when we get sincere about bhakti.
Yeah.
Our what we thought we had so firm, when we thought we were so strong, something crumbles, something gives out. Maybe we lose our money, maybe we lose our health, maybe we lose our stuff. And we start to realize, instead of that bitterness that we get, we're like, why? That's not unfair. We start to reframe, I was leaning into this for protection. I was leaning into my strength, into my beauty, into my wealth. And actually, those aren't
take that
me.
away.
They're not firm. So Krishna does do that. I mean, let's face it, the universe does it. Separate from Krishna, the universe is designed to cut away and break us down.
But Krishna does it personally, right?
Krishna doesn't have to do it. When it happens to the devotees, we understand Krishna's doing it for us, for our evolution, for our rapid evolution.
Yeah.
So we can fully take shelter in him. There's nothing else we can take shelter of.
The universe or karma does it in an automated way. It's
Sure.
like there's the law. According to how you respond to that law, you get exactly what you're due. And it's designed to help reform you. But when one says, actually, I don't want to live in this automated world. I don't want to try to manipulate the law independently of God. I want to reconnect. At that point, it said that Krishna personally gets involved. Oh, let me, just like he did here with Indra, whole setup here. Let me set up a whole thing where his pride collapses. All right. All right.
All right, let's get into this. Narayanam namaskutya chaiva narottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayam adirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, to Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesva badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in class on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 27, Text 14.
We go back to Shukadeva Goswami, who's narrating.
Shukadeva Goswami. Thus glorified by Indra. Right? We just received prayers from Indra. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, smiled and then spoke to him as follows, in a voice resonant like the clouds.
Resonant. Can you make a voice like the clouds as you read this, Raghunath?
Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Indra, it was out of the mercy that I stopped the sacrifice meant for you. You were greatly intoxicated by your opulence as King of Heaven. And I wanted you to always remember me.
Okay.
It's mercy.
The way, if anyone else said that, it would be like, what's your problem? But no, Krishna's like, it's so sweet what he's saying. In other words, I wanted to be connected with you in love. I want you to be connected with me. I'm here for you. I want you to remember that I'm here for you. And I could see you were lost.
A man blinded by intoxication with his power and opulence cannot see me nearby with the rod of punishment in my hand. If I desire his real welfare, this is a powerful line here. If I desire his real welfare, I drag him down from his materially fortunate position. Hear this, people, if you're going through some hell right now. See it as and it's hard to see when you're in it, but hear this. If I desire his real welfare, I drag them down from the material fortunate position. Indra, you may now go. Execute my order and remain in your appointed position as king of heaven, but be sober without false pride. It's almost like the famous story of with Charles Dickens, the A Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol.
Right?
He gets visited by the
gets the ghost of Christmas past, gets taken to hell, everything like breaks apart, and then
he comes back.
He comes back, I'm a new person now.
And he apologizes to everyone, right?
Yes.
What was he was like bitter and what is
he was just bitter and grumpy and sort of
miserly
and miserly, and there was Tiny Tim. Was that Tiny Tim?
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim was a little orphan.
He was sweethearted kid, even though he had nothing, he had
walk
polio
or something
like that.
Yeah. And then he came back and he was changed. He was filled with love. Indra,
right.
You may go now. Okay.
Yeah, so he's saying, I'm going to put you right back in the position where you were. You're still going to be Indra. You're still going to be like the top guy. You got responsibility. Do the responsibility, but do it without pride now. He didn't even drag him. He didn't kill him. He didn't drag him down from his position. He kept him in his position. Another important thing, right?
Yeah.
We always want to drag the person down. We always want a revolution.
Yeah.
Right?
You deserve it.
Yeah. And here Krishna says, no, I'm going to keep you in your position. Prabhupada once said, my guru told me this. He said, I'm forgetting the saying, but it had to do with, it was two words, this, not that. But the idea was rectify, a person in a position that needs to improve. Don't drag them down from the position, right? Don't replace them, but reform them. It might have even been that, right?
Sure.
So he's saying,
it's part of my own ego want to tear everybody else down.
Yeah.
So that might happen to us also. We might be doing exactly what we're doing now, but doing it in a cleaner way, a more refined way.
Exactly.
When you really feel like, I'm thinking of like, people who become Krishna conscious and they, I'm looking at Sarah Ditto right now because she's listening. Hi, Sarah. She gets inspired and she just wants to tattoo people, and she gets more inspired to tattoo spiritual tattoos. And when you know your sort of calling, then you just want to apply your calling in a more and more spiritual way. And you yourself want to live a more refined life. You don't necessarily have to change what you do. You just refine how you do it. And you refine your consciousness, and you refine your habits, and you refine it as an offering.
Yeah. So he's saying, do it, but be sober without false pride. You filter that out. You distill it right out of your consciousness, right?
Sarah Ditto is dying to do a spiritual tattoo. Okay, bring your needles, Sarah Ditto.
We're gonna do some on this weekend.
We're gonna do something. You could do something on me, and we'll figure it out. I've got room. Okay, we'll get Kaustubha. Let's get Kaustubha tattoo on this guy.
I'm wide open.
He's a blank canvas. This guy.
Blank canvas. Exactly.
Kidding? Give him a big chess piece.
The big Chataka bird.
Chataka bird. How about Sukadeva
Like
Goswami sitting
wide.
right in your chest? A big
Sukadeva
Sukadeva
Goswami.
Goswami. A naked man with dreadlocks on your chest. Naked teenage boy. So this guy's 16 years old. Do it. If you're really dedicated to the Bhagavatam, do that. Aaron gave me the
Is that how one dedicate? Is that how one?
That's one way you could dedicate your life. A big Sukadeva Goswami.
Oshana Karishi saying he'll get the tilak tattoo on his face.
Forehead?
What do you think? Is he serious?
He would. He would. People do face tattoos like it's chewing gum nowadays.
He is serious.
Let's get back to the Bhagavatam, Pranapriya whispered.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Mother Sarabi.
She's my good sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Sarabi said, So, by the way, you're about to now listen to a talking cow.
That's right.
Just
Imagine the
in
scene
case
here.
you're wondering who Mother Sarabi is, it's not an old lady; it's a cow. Yes, Mother Sarabi, along with her progeny, the cows,
Calves. Yeah.
right, then offered her obeisances. So she bowed down. The cow bowed down, respectfully
It's so
requesting.
interesting, though. It is interesting here, though, Raghunath, right? Indra's messed up big time. As bad a mistake as you can do, as big an offense as you can commit, and he wants to go apologize. And he goes not just with one cow, he actually went with a lot of cows
Sure.
to see Krishna. Just what a scene.
Respectfully requesting his attention, the gentle lady addressed the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was present before her as a cowherd boy.
Okay. What does
Mother
she say?
Sarabi said, "O Krishna, Krishna, the greatest of mystics, O soul and origin of the universe, you are the master of the world, and by your grace, O infallible Lord, we have you as our master."
This is the opposite of pride.
Right? There's total respect and love.
And
You
love.
are our worshipable deity.
Hmm.
Therefore, O Lord of the universe, for the benefit of the cows, the brahmanas, the demigods, and all other saintly persons, please become our Indra. Indra means like our Lord. As ordered by Lord Brahma, we shall perform your bathing ceremony to coronate you as Indra. O soul of the universe, you descend to this world to relieve the burden of the earth. Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus appealed to Lord Krishna, Mother Sarabi performed his bathing ceremony with her own milk. And Indra, ordered by Aditi, the mother of the demigods, anointed the Lord with heavenly Ganga water from the trunk of Indra's elephant carrier, Airavata. Thus, in the company of the demigods and great sages, Indra coronated Lord Krishna, the descendant of Dasharha, and gave him the name Govinda. This is where Krishna got the name Govinda.
To this day, at that same spot, Krishna is worshipped.
Very holy
Thousands
place.
and thousands of people go on pilgrimage there, circumambulate that spot, every day practically.
Yeah.
And what a scene here, right? Aditi, Indra's mother, she says, "Now you go and bathe him. Get your elephant over here," right? And he's being bathed with milk. He's being bathed with water, and he's given the name. Indra coronated Lord Krishna. So this is, we see coronate. We don't see them now so much, but we understand that, like, even in Europe, this was the thing, right? That you get anointed and you get coronated by pouring water over your head, right? They do that with a new king or whatever, new prince or something like that, and a queen. And so this is we see it, originally here. Krishna is being bathed with water. He's being bathed with milk. He's being coronated as Govinda. It's interesting, right? He's the king. What do they call him? King? You're the cow caretaker, right? It's like the highest position that you could have. Sweet.
It is sweet. It's very sweet.
You like that? This is happening on the other side of Govardhan, though, now, right? Because he apologized at Surabi Kund, but this bathing is taking place at Govinda Kund.
Yeah.
Right?
Good point.
So maybe they went through Dangati, or maybe they went around the other end,
Punchari.
and then they went over to go to
Right around the
Govinda Kund.
bend. Right around the bend.
Yeah, and then they tell me about Govinda Kund, Raghunath.
Govindakund's magical place. Sages and sadhus have lived there for many years. This is where Madhavan Japuri sat there in meditation and fasting. And a cowherd boy came up to him and brought him a pot of milk and said, why are you fasting here? No one fasts in my village.
Yeah.
What? And so he said, I'll come back and collect this milk pot later. And then while he was chanting, he fell asleep and realized that was Krishna
That was
who came
Krishna.
to me. That was Krishna. Now you might think, well, Krishna wasn't around, around on the planet at that time. He had this vision of Krishna coming to him. And then at night while he was sleeping, it became very clear that that was Krishna, that boy, that appeared to him at Govardhan. And then he gave him this instruction. The deity form of me has been hidden here in the forest.
Hmm.
Dig it out.
Mm.
And put me on top of Govardhan Hill and worship me on top of Govardhan Hill.
Yeah.
And sure enough, when he woke up, he was like, that was Krishna. I had one of those very Krishna conscious dreams that people have. And then he went and he dug it out, and there was that deity. And they installed that deity on top of Govardhan Hill. They bathed the deity. All the Brahmins came. They offered food to that deity. And to that day, we still worship that deity of Gopal.
Remember that nice night we had a couple years ago at Govindakund, where we were on the roof of that building and we were with Satyananda Maharaj and Krishna Murari Goswami?
Oh, what a night.
You remember this?
Yes. We sat there and went to chant his name. And
we got
I
this-
knew nothing's gonna be the same.
Raghunath, you didn't
Sweet
have to go there.
surrender, what a night.
Sweet surrender. Okay, we'll give you that one.
Right? That was good. Yeah, they give you
Remember?
those little bells.
Yeah, Krishna Murari Goswami gave us each one of these cowbells at Govindakund. Right?
Krishnamurti Goswami's mother left this world too. Did
When?
you hear that? His wonderful mother who appears in
When?
the Something Divine film just the other day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she
I
was
had
in the
gone to her
hospital
home.
she was in the hospital, got sepsis.
Oh,
I think that was how it happened. And she left
Hare
her body.
Krishna.
And she was, she's one of these ladies who was a dedicated cowherd woman,
she was
living
born and
a bridge
raised there. At
bossy, who's living in this world as a bridge bossy, servant of Krishna and Balaram. And now she's in the spiritual realm doing the exact same thing. Special lady. It's our loss. She was already
She was already in the spiritual world.
in the spiritual world.
Have you been to their home before?
Yeah, we filmed. Haven't you seen Something Divine?
I don't remember that.
There's a whole that scene in the movie Something Divine that Tom did. We're in the house and Krishna Maharaj Goswami's dancing. It's going like in slow motion. The mother's dancing.
It's such a scene in there, isn't it? Like the
It's
whole
such a
family.
scene.
It's so sweet. They
There's
got
like
a
a
cow and the
cow in
buffalo
their
out back.
There's a cow in their house. The house is sort of like a house barn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, that's so
We had
sweet.
lunch there. That was really great.
It was so fun. They had a little baby that had just been born in the family when I was there. And then right next to the baby, like they have the baby like in a little tiny little kind of crib thing, or no, actually it was just like on the, they have those kind of beds that just sit out there,
Yeah. There's
And then
rope
next to the-
beds. You just lay down.
Next to the baby, they had two things like, one maybe was a coin or something, and the other one was like a knife. It was like a jackknife.
Oh, the
they
baby
keep
had to
it right by
choose.
Huh?
They were having that ceremony where the baby's got to choose the.
No, it wasn't the baby choose. I think it was like to protect the baby. It was like to ward off any,
evil spirits.
yeah, something like that.
Some bridge
But they're also
bossy.
sweet.
Yeah. Anyway, lovely family. Heart goes out to Krishna Murari
Krishna
Goswami and his
Goswami,
brother,
sweet
his
soul.
family.
Okay, let's finish the chapters. Just a few verses left.
Okay, gotta go quick. It's 7:29.
Let's do it.
Tumbaru, Narada, and other Gandharvas, along with the Vidyadharas, Siddhas, Charanas, came there to sing the glories of Lord Hari, which purified the entire world. And the wives of the demigods, filled with joy, danced together in the Lord's honor.
What a scene that must have been.
Mm-hmm. The most eminent demigods chanted the praises of the Lord and scattered wonderful showers and flowers all around him. All three worlds felt supreme satisfaction, and the cows drenched the surface of the earth with their milk.
So much could be said about this, but we just got to go by it. But all the three worlds felt supreme satisfaction. This is how you feel satisfaction. Getting the center right and harmoniously revolving around it.
Rivers flowed with various kinds of tasty liquids. Trees exuded honey. Edible plants came to maturity without cultivation.
Wow, imagine that. You go back to your garden like, it's like-
Whoa. And hills gave forth jewels formerly hidden in their interiors.
whoa.
That's a thing.
That's a thing, is it?
Oh, yeah, sure. All the diamonds in India were found in rivers.
These are
They were not mined.
coming from hills, it says here.
Oh, hills. Okay, forget it. I just changed the whole thing so I could say a statement. Okay.
Well, hills have rivers. Maybe it was coming out of the river and the hill.
O Parikshit, beloved of the Kuru dynasty, upon the ceremonial bathing of Lord Krishna, all living creatures, even those cruel by nature, became entirely free of enmity.
Oh, here's the answer to all of our conflict.
The ceremonial, everybody must be bathing of Krishna, and they will become free from enmity.
Yeah.
Yeah. After he had ceremonially bathed Lord Govinda, who is the master of the cows in the cowherd community, King Indra took the Lord's permission and, surrounded by the demigods and other higher beings, returned to his heavenly abode.
Wow.
Bumba. Pranapriya, take away.
Thanks. We're all in purgatory doing time,
Oh, there's a
hopefully
heavy
learning
one.
lessons.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Every time you chant, it's training for time of death.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you reading the chat board?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Our
Focus
ego
it.
is keeping us an illusion that we're the center.
Mine is.
Be like Hanuman and use your gifts to serve God. I like the bell ad.
I like that too. Yeah, it's like clarifying what you just said.
Do the inner work and salvation comes.
Do the inner work and salvation comes.
You like that?
Yeah.
Uproot pride and harmonize your inner life with the hereafter.
Okay.
Reframe our crumbling.
Reframe the crumble. I'd put it like that. Reframe the crumble. T-shirt.
Sounds like a dessert.
Yeah, it does sound like a delicious dessert. I had reframe the crumble with vegan whip. It was really good.
Rectify and refine. And filter out false pride.
Filter out false pride. Thanks, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's going to be a great day today. I can feel it. Spend some time outside, encouraging everybody to spend a little time outside. And when things get tough, think, oh, Lord, what? Oh, my Lord, why? Why is this happening? How can I grow from this? How can I evolve from this? That could be the best answer. Good to be back with Special K, Kaustubha Das. Thanks for everybody joining us on Zoom. If you're hearing this and you've never joined us on Zoom, do it. It's fun. If you're in the Seattle area, I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Come up and say hi. I'm doing yoga classes, but I'm also doing kirtan, storytelling, and I have no idea what I'm getting into. I haven't been to Seattle. My band has rarely played in Seattle. I don't go that much. I've only been there a few times. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I know a lot of very cool devotees there in India, so I got invited to come.